Life is short, except when it's long, and you are regretting the road not taken. There is some serious truth in that statement. There is some scary amount of truth in that. And I was having this conversation with someone I love dearly, and I will not name them, but they know exactly who they are, about the life choices we make and the sadness and the issues with that. That so many of us are like, why is my life this way? Why don't I have the things I want? Why do things like this happen to me? And yet refuse to take responsibility for their actions, for their life choices, for where they are in this life. They refuse to own up to these things and realize that everything is their fault. We've spoken about it before, that everything in your life is your fault. And that is a daunting topic to talk about, except when you take ownership of it. Then it becomes the greatest gift of all, because when you realize that everything is your fault, it means that everything is your fault. So you can change everything as well. And this is the gap. It's about perspective and the actions that we take. And it came up because I was talking to this person. I needed something from their house. And I was like, I messaged them and I was like, are you awake? Need to come collect this. 2 hours later, I get a message of, oh yeah, we're awake now. You can come over. And so this was after, it was about 11:30. So in that time, I have gotten a weighted walk in, gotten a workout in, run 3 sessions, done some content, organised my gym, cleaned my gym, and I'm currently on the way to my chiropractic's appointment before they've woken up. And I decided that today was the day that, needed to be brutally honest. It wasn't a day for mollycoddling. And I said to them, and I was like, do you think this might be why you don't have enough time in the day? And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, this is everything that I have done already before you have woken up. I have achieved more before you got out of bed than most people will do in a day. And they were like, well, aren't you wonderful? And I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you are making definitive life choices that are affecting your life. Because we all have options, we all have choices, and we make choices every single day. And we make decisions about the things that we do with our time. We all have the same allocation of time every single day. The only difference is how we utilize said time. And to their credit, they owned it slightly. They were like, well, maybe that is the reason. But I know it's not going to be enough to change them. That nothing is going to change. But it is this thing of, you have the opportunity, you have the choices, you have the capacity to lead a better life. If, and only if, you choose to. It comes down to how you utilize that time. I spoke yesterday about authentically owning where I'm at, and part of feeling like a fraud is that I don't get everything done that I want to get done. And part of that feeling like a fraud is because I know that I waste time on shit that doesn't matter, on shit that doesn't serve me. And that frustrates me, that I keep slipping, that I talk on here about discipline and about focus and about drive and about keeping your word and mental toughness. And this one area, I keep falling back into these negative habits. I keep falling back on myself on this and cannot break through. I cannot shift this perspective yet. It's coming. I'm now getting to the point where I'm not willing to tolerate my shit on this anymore. I'm getting so frustrated and infuriated that it is going to change. But like I've spoken about many times before, it also comes on the back end of the pain has reached a certain threshold now where I will not tolerate where I'm at anymore. And so, yeah, I have to do better. I have to be better. I have to make better choices on this. But I also have to remember, once I get past this pain point, to continue to do the work. That I continue to show up that way. That I don't slack off. That I don't ease off. That I don't, pull my foot off the accelerator. That I keep pushing forward this way. Because especially these habits around, the work that needs to get done at nighttime, those ones are really, really easy. It's a very, very slippery slope, and it's an easy one to get caught up in. And I don't want to let that happen again. I am so demonstrably unhappy with where I've ended up at this point that I need to shift it. And look, maybe I had to let the pain get to this point so that I could force this situation. But now the situation is here. I cannot slack off. I cannot let... son of a bitch. That I cannot continue to let myself stay at this point, and I cannot let myself backslide into this position again. That we make these choices with our days. And yeah, my day is action-packed, but it comes down to the choices we make on how to utilize this time, on how to set this up, and how we can be the best versions of ourselves with this all. I was watching this video of Dan Martell, and he's like, I get asked quite frequently, what is it I do that allows me to be so successful? And I just loved his response. And he's like, it's not what I do that allows me to be so successful. It's what I don't do. And this is the concept that I keep thinking on. And it's one that I keep coming back to. That it's less about what you do, and it's more about the things that you don't do. It's less about the choices that you do make. It's about the choices that you choose not to make. And when it comes down to that, I am caught in these vices that have been my vices for a very long time. And on the spectrum of them, yes, they are very small and they are insignificant and they aren't going to completely cripple and destroy my life. No. But they are still ones that are holding me back from being the man that I know I want to be, that I know I should be, that I can be. They are holding me back from doing the things that I want to do, to achieving the life that I want and know I deserve. They are holding me back from doing this. And those are vices like social media, TV, dopamine chasing. Even within the eating style that I have, that I find ways to snack. I eat way too much frozen fruit. I'm trying to reduce that down at the moment. But it's the choices that we make. And as I said, our life is a direct reflection of the choices we make. Our life is a representation of who we are and the choices that we make on the daily basis. So if you aren't happy in your life, that's fantastic, because it means that you also have the capacity to change it all. You have the capacity to take control and change everything that you aren't happy with. That you can take back this power and do the things that need to be done. You are in control at all times. You are in control of the actions that you take and the choices that you make. And so I have gotten to this point and I need to sit with it and I need to own it. That, yeah, I am unhappy with where I've reached at this point. I am unhappy with the life that I am leading. And it's good because I've let the pain reach that point now that it's going to force me to change, that I am no longer willing to tolerate that shit, and I'm no longer willing to continue accepting that way forward. I don't want to live that life anymore. So therefore I must change, and therefore I must make different choices. And it's so often that we don't get enough perspective, that we don't take a step back to truly have perspective on our lives. And like this person I was talking to, they're like, oh, well, that's great for you. It's very impressive that you can do it, but that's not who I am. Well, it is. You have definitively the capacity and the ability to make that choice. You have the capacity and the ability to make different choices. You just choose not to. You choose not to make the choices for the better life. You choose not to make the choices that are going to serve you at your highest good because it's hard, because it's difficult. But we need to make the difficult choices. We need to make the right choices so that we can have the life we lead. As I said, your life is a direct reflection of the choices you make. So if your life isn't where you want to be, if you aren't happy with the life you're leading, if it isn't everything that you hoped for, start making different choices. Take extreme fucking ownership of where you're at and recognize that it is all your fault. That those are your choices. And at any moment, at any point in time, you can change those choices for the better. So make that change. Choose better. Make better choices. Feel your day better. And then once you have the life you want, then you can take a bird's eye view and start going, well, maybe I can take a slight step back now. But always be cognizant of it, because you don't want to step too far back and allow yourself to backslide into the life that you do not want. But you are in control. It's your turn to take control of it. You are in control of your choices. Make better choices. So that's all I have for you. Now, if you're ready to make better choices, to take that first step, and to truly make the best choice, join me in Chasing Greatness. Join me in my 30-day challenge, and let's start transforming your life with better choices right this second. If you're not quite there yet, grab the link in my bio and grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness and become the best version of yourself. Lastly, if you took value from this, if you know someone who could benefit from it, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm here every single day, leading by example, leading from the front, and hoping to inspire you to do the same. So until then,